Hello, folks. I hope you're all doing well. Today, I'd like to take a look at the song Can't Help Falling in Love. It's a lovely song with some fairly simple chords that we can spice up with some finger picking. So let's dive in and see what chords we need. Okay, this song calls for a C, an E minor, an A minor, an F, G7, which we could also play G, D minor, B7, and A7. Right, so let's just start off by strumming through the chords. So we'll just kind of keep it nice and simple. We're not going to worry about any fancy right-hand stuff to begin with. So I've written in a little introduction to this song, so a little intro here that we can play, where we're going from F to G to A minor to D minor to C, G7, and C. And we go into the song. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. And then it goes back to the bridge, and we just repeat a couple of those other things, and then repeat the refrain at the end, and that is the song. So the first thing that you're obviously going to want to do with this song, as with any songs that you're learning, is make sure that you can switch between all of the chords comfortably. This has some nice chords that are probably familiar to you, like our C and F and G or G7, A minor, but we've got a couple others in there that maybe you haven't got as much practice in with. We've got a D minor here, an E minor, and this B7 in particular is one of those chords that can be a little bit tricky if you haven't been barring your chords. A lot of that is going to just be a matter of playing those chords over and over again and practicing the transitions between those chords, right? So if you're strumming along and you get to a point where all of a sudden it's like, oh man, yeah, getting from the C to that G, I forgot how tricky that could be. You know, whatever the case may be, just stick with that little transition for a little while. One of the transitions that I like to do in this song is playing, there's more than one way to play the E minor chord. We've got this way with the open G string, but I could also play it like this, among other ways, where I'm holding down the 4th fret of the G string. So I'm playing 4th fret of the G, 4th fret of the C, 3rd fret of the E, and 2nd fret of the A. So if I strum down from G to A, it's 4, 4, 3, 2. Think of it kind of like a D minor shape. Just moved up 2 frets, and then I'm putting my pointer finger down across all the strings on the 2nd fret. That's going to be there to help support my other fingers. The only note that my pointer finger is going to be producing is the 2nd fret of the A string. Everything else that it's doing is just to kind of support these fingers, so everybody doesn't have to work as hard. So I like playing that version of the E minor in this little bridgey part. The transition from this to the B7 is really nice because I'm already barring that 2nd fret. So all I've got to do is lift up my ring and pinky and then move my middle finger from the 3rd fret of the A, 3rd fret of the E to 3rd fret of the C. So from here to here. The other reason I like to play that particular shape is because there's my melody note for this part of the song. Like a river flows. I'm just singing through basically an arpeggio of that E minor chord. And with this low G on this particular instrument, that is where my voice sits for that note. So it's really nice to have the melody note right at the beginning there. Like a river flows. And then I switch to that B7 chord there. I think that's the only spot that I do something that maybe you wouldn't necessarily expect in this song. I think for the most part, I'm just using chord voicings that you're probably familiar with. Definitely keep an eye out for what fingers you're using to play each of those chords. C is a great example of that because depending on where I'm going, my kind of standard way to play the C chord is using my ring finger. But maybe I just came off of my G7 chord and I used my pinky to play that C chord. But just keep that in mind if you're finding that a particular transition is a little tricky. See if there's a different finger that you could use, a different configuration of fingers to make it easier for you to jump from one chord to the next. All right, let's focus in on the right hand and check out what this arpeggio pattern is, this plucking pattern. We can count this song differently. So, for instance, in the daily ukulele version of this particular song, it is written out in 4/4 time, right? And we can kind of feel that when we're strumming all of these chords. We're kind of doing like groups of 4, right? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But when we do this particular picking pattern, we're kind of bringing out a 12/8 feel. So what does that mean? Well, basically, I am plucking 3 notes for every 1 beat. So if there are 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm not going to count those 12 like that. But that's the breakdown of what I'm doing there, what I'm playing with my right hand when I do this finger picking technique. So basically, I am plucking my G string first with my thumb, then my C with my index finger, E with my middle finger, A with my ring finger, and then I come back down, middle on E, and index on C. So it'd be really good to just start off by practicing this pattern, getting your fingers comfortable. I've essentially got a finger assigned to each string. And I'm just playing up and down my strings. So starting on the G. G, C, E, A, E, C, G, C, E, A, E, C. But that's also creating this extra layer, right? So we've got our 4 beats, but now we're subdividing each of those 4 beats into groups of 3. And it's going to create this really, really lovely effect when played underneath the melody. Now, when we're finger picking through these chords, that's where it's going to be really essential that our fretting hand knows where it's going and can make it to all those chords nice and quickly. Because when you're strumming, if you're a little sloppy with some of those notes, that's not that big of a deal. Like, that still sounds okay, but as soon as you finger pick, then any of those like little spots that aren't quite held down quite right are going to be really, really obvious. Now, don't worry, don't stress about that. Don't be like, oh my gosh, the world is going to end because I wasn't pushing down on my E string. That is totally fine. It comes in practice. We're not judging. But that is going to be a thing that, a sign, okay, I've got to watch out for that chord, because whenever I play that chord, I get a little clunk on that chord. So I'm going to give some extra practice to the E minor or whatever it happens to be. All right, I'm going to start off by just playing through the chords in the verse. So wise men say, blah, 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 can't help falling in love with you. I'm just going to play those chords so you can see what my left and my right hand are doing as I play through this song. 2, 3, 4. If you're new to fingerpicking, practice those chords in little chunks, right? So maybe a couple measures or a couple chords at a time. Maybe just start off with C, E minor, A minor. See how that feels, see how smooth those transitions are going. If you're finding that you're hitting roadblocks early on, don't try and plow through the whole song or get to a lot of those tougher chords, like some E minor to B7 chords or something like that. Give yourself time to get your fingers around those first chords. And once you're feeling confident with that, then it's like, okay, then I'm going to try the F, C, G. And work your way up to it. Don't worry if you're getting some clunks or something like that. Just give yourself time and pace your way through it. But it's a really, really pretty technique. This finger picking the arpeggios is really nice. All right, let's play through the whole thing with our finger picking. And I'm going to pick up the speed just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. For I can't help falling in love with you. Well, folks, that is Can't Help Falling in Love. I hope you enjoyed playing the tune. Let me know if you have any questions. Email me at tinyvillagemusic@gmail.com, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care.